Good morning, guys. Welcome to another garden tour. This is August 26th. Look at these tomatoes. They're impressive. And like I was saying in the last video, tomato plants, at least in my garden, usually have about 3 tiers, which means they have 3 bundles. And then that 4th tier kind of starts, and they're really quite small and immature, and they never really broaden out. This year, maybe one of the first years that I actually have, in several cases in the garden, 4 full tiers of mature tomatoes, with tomatoes on a 5th tier that might even end up growing to a medium size, which means we can make sauce with it in the fall. So that's the big news for the garden, is that it's impressed me this year. We've already taken in 5 bags of tomatoes and froze them, put them in the freezer so that we can make sauce with them later on. They'll still hold all their beautiful flavor. So let's take a little walk in here. So when I say five tiers or 4 tiers, I think I showed you in the last video, you can have a tier here, and then a tier here, and then a tier here, and then a tier here. Like, this is Southern Ontario growing in Eastern Ontario, which is pretty cool. Now, the onions, I planted onions throughout the tomatoes just because I knew I'd be trimming, and they're doing okay. They're not doing super well, but that's okay. They're kind of an experiment this year. Now what I did here, I think in the last video I said I was going to put in some form of a trellis to hold up these cherry tomatoes, because cherry tomatoes get really out of whack. Sorry if my voice is sounding quiet because I'm further away from the phone. My arm is outstretched here. But what I did was I made this trellis, and you can take a look at it here. The way I designed it was so that this can be pushed up. The poles on either side can go up, and then I can just put tape here. It won't be pretty, but as the plants grow, and they will, right now they're at 6 feet tall, and cherry tomatoes tend to have their best wind sort of in late August and early September, at least for me here. Well, you can see there's a few in there. There's going to be a lot more. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cherry tomatoes, and in here, you know, I just stuffed tomatoes everywhere in the garden. And so this little plant here, it's got decent sized tomatoes as well. Excuse me. It's an allergy day, I think. I used some of my basil, and I used some of my parsley in meatballs I made for a party last week, and they turned out really good. And the peppers are incredible this year. Here's some rosemary. I'm gonna have to get busy and find a place to use my rosemary. It's doing really well. Back in here, we've got the jalapeno peppers. I've got 6 of them. You see the peppers on there now? This is the 3rd crop. I've already taken off 2 crops of jalapeno peppers. So it'll be about next week I'll be taking another crop. And I'm certainly going to get a 4th, maybe even a 5th crop. These peppers here, you don't see too much on them right now, because I did some harvesting last week. I think I forgot that one. That's too big to be a new pepper, but you can see all the little buds coming out here. Yeah, there's going to be, so this will be, the new buds coming out will be a 3rd crop here. And down here, these are massive. That's like a grocery store size pepper. This little one here, this plant here, is the habanero. I don't eat these, but my daughter Jen does. She loves them, and I can see that there's, you look right in here, you can see that there's new peppers wanting to get started. So there will be another crop there. And this plant here, I've already taken peppers off it twice. So the peppers are amazing this year. Back in here you can see the kale's doing really well. I've got 3 plants. They're kind of hidden, but once again, this is a garden about efficiency. If it's not efficient, then I'm doing something wrong here. But over here, look at the Roma tomato. Got tomatoes down here, tomatoes up here, tomatoes up here, tomatoes in behind there, and then further up. And it looks like there's going to be more tomatoes up here. So this Roma tomato, when it matures, will have yielded probably 20 tomatoes, sort of as a minimum. Over here, my friend the cucumber plant is really coming on hard. Excuse me, I just swallowed one of these small bugs. This little cucumber in here, we'll be taking that off. So today is Wednesday. We'll probably be taking this off by the weekend, at the latest Monday. They tend to grow really fast. I'm not sure I can find any more because I was out here pulling cucumbers off here yesterday and earlier in the week. So that's the cucumber plant. Oh yeah, there's another one right here. Walked right past that little guy. Okay, so this whole group of tomatoes here, you can see they're all staked well, but this guy or girl is well above her stake. So the conundrum becomes, if these all grow another 6 or 8 inches, I'm in trouble. I would have to buy more stakes tall like this one. So we'll see what happens. Generally speaking, I want my tomato plants to grow fruit. So this tomato's coming off. It'll ripen in the house. Probably something like that will ripen in 2-3 days, max. A tomato like that, still pretty green. I'll leave that for another day. Now, as far as the beans go, I had a trellis in here, which the beans weren't really using, so I took the trellis down and I used the garden stakes for tomato plants. But you can see, if you look in here, got a small little bean there, so that bean will be ready to eat next week, and we should have another crop if I look through here carefully. I was in here picking beans a couple days ago. See, if we look down in here, can you see that? There, oh, maybe not. There's beans down there. See, there's full-size beans in here. I just have to come out. See, there's another one down in there. It's just a case of coming out every 3 or 4 days and picking beans off. Last time I picked beans, I got, what's the size I'm using? Yeah, it looks like about a 3-liter basket. Anyway, the 3-liter basket was half full, and I'm going to do that every week and a half for the rest of the season, and these beans will be growing right through till October sometime. They're pretty hardy. Let's take a walk up front. I want to show you something that's a little different about the tomatoes up here. I was up here cutting grass the other day and I realized the tomatoes here weren't doing as well as the ones in the back. And that's quite possibly because they're in pots. But because at the front of the house I get a little bit of water running off the house. I mean, the eaves catch most of it, but not all of it. So you can see the splash here. And what was happening was the lower leaves were getting splashed on. And what that was doing was that was bringing in all kinds of fungi and things that were damaging the leaves. So you can see these leaves, I brought everything back up to where the leaves are healthy again. Here you can still see there's a little bit of damage to these leaves. Here's a little tomato. Let me see what's going on here. This is a weird one. You can see it looks leathery on one side and nice on the other side. I'm assuming that this one is almost ripe. It's like half green, half red. Interesting. Anyway, I've had to cut these up, and I fertilize them or feed the plant the same way that I do the ones in the backyard. But when I back up here, you'll see that they're pretty scrawny. They've already given me a pretty good yield. That was before the lower half of the plant got damaged. Let's take a walk through here, come up the side of the house. Something I want to show you. The rhubarb's doing okay back here. This poor little mullein plant, you can see it. I stripped the leaves off it. They're ready to be used in tea or medicine, whichever. And this stalk here has all the seeds in it, and this stalk will it'll get dried out, and I'll use that to seed more mullein. And I'll put my mullein in the back corner there. But this is really interesting. Take a look at all the seed cones off the spruce tree. Just look at them all over the yard. They're everywhere. And I know you probably won't believe me when I tell you this. I've already cleaned up 3 times. So for sure I picked up 100 on the weekend, and then I picked up 100 Monday. And then yesterday I'm sure I picked up 200. And this is 2 days worth. Anyway, I've picked up 100 twice and 200 once. Those are rough estimates, of course. But just look at all the cones. Well, it's a beautiful morning. See the flowers coming in at the top of my hedge there. They're not mine. They're my neighbors, but they just look wonderful. We've got an apple tree back here. You can see all the apples. And they fall into the yard. And they're good food for the squirrels and chipmunks. But just look at them on the tree up there. It'd be nice to have 50 or 100 of them. To see if we could make some applesauce. You see. Well, I'm gonna have to fill that bird feeder. That's a today thing. And look at that. It's going up there pretty good now, but it's staying off the siding, which is really what I hope for. I'll be able to trim that back anytime. Well, guys, hope you enjoyed the garden tour as much as I enjoy giving you a garden tour. Oh, and this little colorful thing on this chair, I guess I should explain. Anybody that comes over always asks about it. We were visiting friends in Northern Ireland, and they had just been to India, and I guess this is sort of like a superstition or of good luck. So this is sort of like, if you stretch it out, it's wrapped around the chair. If you stretch it out, it's a really long banner, and it's got all these different sheets on here, and each sheet has like a proverb or saying. So this is very good luck to have this in your backyard, because they want the air to move it around. It's supposed to blow in the breeze, but I didn't have a place for it to be tied across so it could dangle and blow in the breeze. But that's what that is. Anyway, the garden's doing very well. We'll probably have 24 or 36 large jars of tomato sauce from our own tomatoes. Might have to supplement that with some from the store. I did that last time. And the peppers, well, the peppers will give us a lot more. Okay, guys, we'll see you next time. Have a great day.